Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen-Botham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're so excited to be talking about JustMy. We're here with J.R. Robinson, CEO and co-founder of JustMy. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me today.
Well, we've known you for a long time. You've done tremendous good, working to power the good, share positive stories, help uplift nonprofits and businesses that are doing good. So we're going to have a lot to talk about, but let's start with a little bit of history, some context for JustMy, because you are in different cities across the U.S., including JustMy Memphis, JustMy Nashville. But give us a little bit of history and some context for JustMy.
So I started this just wanting to give people a voice. I knew what it was like not to have a voice. And I had seen a lot. I had already seen nonprofits that were struggling with things like getting donations, getting volunteers. And I quickly realized it was because their story wasn't there. They weren't telling their stories. And to me, at the moment you're asking for donations, the first thing a person wants to know is, well, what are you doing with those? You know, are you having an impact? And so we started this officially as a company 2019, and we spent that year developing our system so that we could go nationwide. And 2020 was supposed to be our year, but COVID had other things in mind for us. And so, but we've continued building off of what we started. At first we were making these digital magazines that you could flip through, and then that turned into a newsstand. And now we've got the newsstand, which is expanding across the country. We have My Card, which is the digital business card from JustMy, and we're introducing InfoHUB, which brings all of your content together so that you can use it anywhere to help reach your goals.
Let's drill down deeper into InfoHUB, because I think when you look at the future, obviously this is where you're headed, but it's a huge opportunity for businesses to share their stories, and especially for larger organizations, whether it's a national nonprofit working to share the same stories down locally, or obviously like franchises, larger businesses with local chapters, opportunity for them to have a tremendous amount of content sharing, but also to engagement. And so talk about the InfoHUB.
So InfoHUB really consists of two main items. Content, there's a content hub inside. That content is either shared content, that means it's been produced somewhere else and you share it through the InfoHUB, or created content, and that's where you create it on our platform. And we put it all there so you can then distribute it later. The second is our virtual studio service. And this allows businesses to do anything from training videos to interviewing employees to interviewing organizations that they're working with. But it's a virtual studio where you've got a team on this side, making sure that everything is ready and everything's working for you. And we take care of the editing. Or again, you can send in your own videos. And so what this boils down to is expanded reach. So companies spend money creating content. PR firms create content, ad agencies create content, employees create content. But how much of that content's getting to the front line where it needs to be? And social media has kind of blindsided us. We think, if I put content on social media, I'm doing something. Well, you're only doing something for just a few minutes, if that. And the one time that people need your content is the moment they've actually engaged with you. You've been at a networking meeting and someone's met you. And now at that moment, they want to be advertised to. And so we pull all of that content into My Card, which is the digital business card, but it's powered by the InfoHUB. So you're already doing the work. We're saying expand the reach of what you're doing.
You're also using it pretty creatively when you talk about the Just My Card and how that ties into the InfoHUB. And so give us a little bit of an illustration, whether that's with like the Shelby County Sheriff's Office or with Memphis Shelby County Schools. You've got some really unique applications for ways that all of this can be tied together, but creatively, kind of innovatively to suit their needs.
Right. So remember, InfoHUB, JustMy it was our project. We didn't use a technology that was already out there. We went and built our own database, our own systems to do everything. So as a result of that, we can take our mission, and as we step into organizations, we realize, oh, you need this card, you need your information out there, but you also need to give this personal information out. And so we can build applications within our system just for you. And we're working on one currently for the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, where every employee will have my card. It will have things on there like, hey, we're hiring, the different departments, the different things that gets done, with a goal of helping them to hire new deputies. But it also has a more urgent service. And that's what, if a deputy has to come to the scene of like an accident, normally they would write down an incident report and give it to you. And you get in your car, you're already freaked out, you're panicked, and you lose it. So now you're calling the sheriff's department, and you don't know who to talk to, what to do. So now our My Card produces an incident card for the sheriff's department. It's got the ID of the person that wrote your ticket. It's got your incident number on there, and it's got all of the steps for what you need to do next, as well as the links to that information. And so that goes back to the core of what InfoHUB is. All we're doing is pulling content together so that it can be distributed at the moment that it needs to be. And that can be done for anybody. If you're an insurance company and someone is signed up for health insurance and you're like, hey, we've got exercise plans, we've got this data that these blog things, put it on your cards so that people actually get it that need it. And so that's at its core, that's what it is. It's saying, here's a situation, what data needs to be brought to this situation, make it simple with one link. And the one link brings it all together. And, we're trying to use it with the city school systems that we're just at the beginning part of that. But I think when you start any project with the goal of, I want to help the community, you go and you look at all the resources and you say, how can I make this happen as inexpensively as possible? And one of the major ways is through education. And My Card is your education tool. It's like, hey, I'm City Current. I'm going to interview you today. Here, take my card. This tells you how to get ready for my show. This tells you how to become part of our organization. This tells you the history of what we're doing. So there's infinite numbers of things you can do. But what makes JustMy different from every other platform is the content that you are sharing is yours. When you put your information on Facebook, you're out there with a million other feeds, a million other ads. It's not about you. When you give them your card, this is about you. When you say, oh, I was on City Current this week, you may not like the title that they put on your interview. You may not like the meta image. Well, you get to control that here. And if you've ever been on the news, like Local 24, and they're a great station, by the way, and you try and share that link, you're like, well, they could have picked a better picture. Well, now you get to control that. And that's the exciting part of this is we get to genuinely go in and say, show us your greatness, and we're going to help you share it.
Yeah, and you make it very affordable in terms of the way you've structured it, and carry that into All Eyes on You, because this will come back to some of the things that we're talking about now, but talk about All Eyes on You.
Yes. So I have been, when we started this InfoHUB thing, I was like, what's the slogan for this? Like, I know what I'm trying to say. I believe, and some people won't agree with me on this, but I believe we were all created in God's image. And to me, by default, that means there's greatness in all of us. So when I go to help a business or a nonprofit or a person, I'm looking for their greatness and I want to help them share that. Well, All Eyes on You is just kind of a reminder when you step out, you want to show the world who you are, the best of who you are, what you can accomplish, and you want to be proud of that. And so the slogan, All Eyes, and we haven't fully developed it yet. It came out, and all the partners were like, "Oh, we can really do something with this." So today is actually the day I have to spend hours with that and build a narrative around it. But at the end of the day, whether you're a business with lots of money or you're just getting started, you've got a story. And we're saying use that story to tell people who you are, to tell people what you're doing, and realize at that moment, you don't get to be mom and pop. You've got to be competitive. And so you've got to realize, when I step out, all eyes are on me. I've got to show up and show out. And that's what this is about.
You also provide JustMyGrants, and so talk about how that plays in as well.
I'm glad you brought up the grants because that was one of the most exciting things I've come up with. I wanted to find a way to help where any business, any nonprofit could use the tool. Because selfishly, I'm going to find a lot of great stories to be examples of why you need this. But a lot of organizations don't necessarily have a lot of money up front for having a marketing partner there by their side. And so what we've done is we've introduced JustMyGrant. It's you pay your setup fee for us to, get everything set up. But then the monthly cost of operations we cover under the grant. So you get the full service for 12 months. We're going to check in with you once a month. You can have a what we call a planning session with us once a month, where you tell us what you've got going on, and we say, "Oh, you need a press release for this. Oh, you need a sponsorship package ready." And that way, and then we assign out, who's responsible for what, so that we can help give you the most. So it's like having a marketing team, a PR team, and a support team there at your side. And we cover up to $14,000 of in-kind services for that. And so if you're a nonprofit, one of the things that I have loved doing the most is helping nonprofits get ready for an event. And that way, like interviewing, like we helped the American Cancer Society by interviewing people that had beat cancer and using those stories to get more people to the walk. Well, now we get to do that for your organization. You get 4 chances to do that. It's about a $3,500 service if we were charging you for it, but we get involved 3 months out. Like, what do you need? Like, how can we help? Oh, you need a sponsorship kit. Let's put something together. You modify it, make it yours. All the content we create, it's yours. So, if you need video reels, we're going to jump on a session like this and let people talk, put in some B-roll with it. And now you've got all this magical content you can use. So it's our way of giving back. Our goal is 6,000 of these grants. I graduated in 1984. So if we give out all 6,000 of those, it will be $84 million of in-kind services being given out. And that's a big undertaking. But because of technology, we've tested this since last summer. We know we can do this. But it gives us a chance to help a lot of people do great things and show that they're doing great things. And so I look forward to the journey of the people we get to meet over the next year while we're doing this.
Touch on geography, because obviously with what you're talking about, you can do this from anywhere in the nation. And so whether you're in Memphis, Nashville, you can be a part of JustMy, right?
Yes. So now with the introduction of InfoHUB and with the introduction of My Card, you can be anywhere in the country and we can help you with this because of AI, because of video tools. The game has changed. There's no reason for someone to have to physically come out to a location anymore. I'm not knocking businesses that do that, but for you to get your story out, that's no longer a requirement. And the added side of having a team that does this every day. So every day I get to talk to nonprofits. So we're going to have an idea as to, whoa, if this is a good practice or if it's not, or if you should do something in addition. And so we get to bring the knowledge that we collect, and we're not going to give out other people's ideas, but we can give businesses advice, give them tools and support that otherwise they may not have had access to.
We'll wrap up with where we can go to learn more and start taking those next steps with JustMy.
So go to justmy.com. It's going to tell you about our new InfoHUB. It's going to tell you about the grant, and you can even create a free My Card. My Card X is free. Anybody can use it. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's still going to tell your story. So most importantly, go to justmy.com. If you're in Memphis or Nashville, go to justmymemphis.com or justmynashville.com. We're on social media, so under the same names. So let's get involved. Let's tell your story. Let's create growth despite everything that's going on in the news nationwide right now. You've got a winning story, and together we can share that.
Well, you've always been a community champion, and I greatly appreciate you for all the good you put out in the world for sure. J.R. Robinson, CEO and co-founder of JustMy. Thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.